Welcome to Start Dakota, a show by Startup Sioux Falls where we dispel misconceptions about starting a business, uncover unique challenges faced by founders, highlight today's problem solvers, and build a stronger startup community for tomorrow. This project is powered by the SBA. Now, here's your host, Brienne Maynor.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Start Dakota. We are on location here at Thunder Valley Community Development Corporation in Porcupine, South Dakota. We're in the middle of Pine Ridge Reservation here in beautiful South Dakota, and we're just so happy to be here. Today, we're going to be speaking with one of our Thunder Valley CDC cohort participants, David Clifford of Trap Teepee, who is also on staff as the creative director of Thunder Valley CDC. David, it's so nice to have you. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So I hear you have a nickname.
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I go by Wheatco or Mike. I have two nicknames.
Wheatco?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the meaning behind that?
Technically, or in English, it's translated to crazy.
Crazy. I love this already. Yeah. I can tell we're going to have a good conversation today. So let's get into it. So first, I want to talk about your business venture, and we'll talk a little bit more about Thunder Valley along the way. But can you just give me like a 30-second elevator pitch on what Trap Teepee is and what you focus on?
Mm-hmm. So Trap Teepee originally started as a freelance sole proprietor, and eventually evolved since around 2016 is when I initially established it. Okay. And over the years, it's turned into Trap Teepee. It's had a few rebrands. And I was doing graphic design specifically. And I grew from then to now to start doing brand development.
Okay.
Start doing bigger projects, getting into cool rooms with people like Mark Ruffalo.
Ooh.
Kevin Costner. I had some cool conversations that really geared me toward working with content creators. Also, the big shift in social media being geared toward content creators. So I do a lot of brand development, social media management, as well as getting people's brands ready for social media. And it turned into a whole deal. So when I say brand development, design, websites. I do a lot of social media management as well.
Sure.
All kind of falls under.
I kind of blacked out after you said Mark Ruffalo. Sorry, honey, but I have a huge crush on Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, it was really.
So how did you get into a room with these folks? That is you just blew my mind.
Good question. So I worked on a lot after college. I went to school in New Mexico at the Institute of American Indian Arts.
Okay.
After college, I made a lot of cool connections, and we all kind of pull each other into projects. I got pulled into that project, and it was really, really cool. The president of our tribe was actually there. He wasn't the president at the time.
Okay.
But he's big on, voting projects, getting natives to vote, and that's what we worked with Mark on.
Wow. Was
a voting video, casting, getting more natives to vote.
That is fantastic.
It was really fun.
Wow.
And honestly, what really inspired a lot of the stuff with my company and to grow into something more broad, where I can do multiple projects or different kinds of stuff aside from just doing a logo.
So from 2016 to now, what was the name of your business when you started?
I started as Pixel Pushers.
Pixel Pushers. Okay.
Happens to be the name of probably several in several different states. So I needed to rebrand.
Absolutely. So what's the meaning behind Trap Teepee?
Trap Teepee is a acronym. Trap is an acronym for to rise above poverty.
Oh, that is so cool.
And I actually had a house in New Mexico where a lot of people worked in similar fields as me. We all kind of camped out. I was there from 2011 to 2021.
Okay.
And we called it Trap Teepee.
Trap Teepee.
And, to other folks that didn't necessarily understand, but we definitely did a lot of financial literacy meetings and encouraging each other to do things like drop shipping, starting a clothing line, doing fashion stuff.
Wow.
As well as media.
So what brought you back here to home?
Need to be in the community. I was gone long enough. I did enough work out and about. I just wanted to bring the work ethic that I have, everything that I've learned out there, bring it back, and for it to benefit all of these organizations and companies that kind of molded me as a child.
Yeah. So you were on staff as creative director of Thunder Valley CDC. How has that process been for you, having the full-time job? And I wouldn't even consider this a side hustle. It feels like you almost have two careers. How has that been to juggle? And how do your passions kind of continue to push you forward and keep you motivated and give you the energy that you need to do everything you want to do?
Right. So Thunder Valley giving me such an awesome platform, giving me like the opportunity to work on really big projects, lead really big projects that benefit my resume, ultimately benefit my resume. People in the community are knowing me for some of the work that's happening, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
It works hand in hand. Being able to manage the brand at Thunder Valley is sharpening my skills for my consulting work.
Sure.
Juggling the two is not a problem because I have a bit of a team. I know like from school, I'm able to reach out to people. If there's something I can't do myself, I definitely outsource, bring them in on some of the contract, things like that. It's been fun. It's been a journey. There's been ventures that I've tried inside of the company Trap TP, where I do merch and I like bulk produce garments.
Nice.
It's a lot of work, but it actually provides community members with work. So I'm able to.
I was just going to ask. So you have a team.
So I'm able to pay people from where I'm from to do the work while I'm at work.
Fabulous.
It works out.
Oh man, I want to hear about little David and what he was like back in the day.
Let's see.
Can you tell me a little bit about your upbringing? And obviously, community means a lot to you.
I was born and raised here in Pine Ridge. I was born in Pine Ridge, the town. The hospital is no longer there, but yeah, I'm proud to say I was born in the hospital we had when we were able to have our births here.
Wow.
But I grew up in Waukopomni area, Pine Ridge area. If for those of you that are out there that don't know, we have a huge, probably about the size of Rhode Island, is about as big as our reservation.
Wow.
So we're spread all across the reservation. I had a nice upbringing. I mean, I drew in my notebooks and on all of my homework assignments. And I think everybody had an idea that I might be into creative arts in that lane. So a lot of people pushed me to do creative things, as well as I had to be passionate about it. If I didn't know what I was doing, I was drawing on my schoolwork, like this is really good drawing, but you got a D.
Did you have like a favorite thing that you would draw?
Yeah. And I actually, I don't talk about this too much, but I had a street art deal, persona that I still entertain. And a lot of my childhood drawings are what became my street art tags.
That's so cool.
And I ended up tagging a lot of Europe with a lot of my childhood doodles. I grew up, there's a fly here. Try to get him out of here. Went to high school at Red Cloud Indian School and played basketball.
Nice.
Luckily in high school, I had a multimedia class as a elective from 9th grade to 12th grade. So I took that elective every single year, worked with Photoshop. I worked with all of the cool programs coming out. I think I was in like Photoshop 3 originally, and now I think we're on Photoshop 9 something. But I got into Adobe early. I was actually in the transition of tapes when you used to turn tapes to digital.
Yes.
And it had the big converter.
You're aging yourself now. You realize.
Right. And it turns out, that's what really kind of molded me to wanting to do what I wanted to do. I had access to this equipment that a lot of people thought was janky, nerdy.
Yeah.
I remember
Did you get picked on?
I'm kind of big.
Yeah.
So maybe not so much. But I was pretty nerdy. Like I spent a lot of time in front of the computer as much as I could. And a lot of the people Fortunately, a lot of the people like Thunder Valley, like Red Cloud School, a lot of the local organizations pushed me to do something creative, which I'm thankful for. And I had left here around when I was about 18 and graduated when I was about 23, 24.
Okay.
So I've been working professionally, I'll say since I was 26, 2016.
Wow. Can you tell me a little bit about a misconception about your community? What do people need to know?
People need to know that we're perfectly capable of doing things for ourselves, doing great things for ourselves, given opportunity. We need opportunities more than anything.
Absolutely.
We don't need a short-term platform that amplifies a significant part of our struggle. We need a platform that amplifies the beauty in what we do, the beauty in the struggle, how honest, respectful, how prideful, how creative, how smart that we are. Not necessarily, we don't need any more poverty porn. We don't need any more people knowing how poor we are.
Yeah.
We need tools. We need tools, platforms, and for people to believe in us.
That just touched me in my heart a little bit. I've been here for about a half a day and I can already feel it. So I've just appreciated the time spent, and I hope more people that are listening will consider, just coming and visiting. There's just so much happening here. It's just so wonderful. And this kind of transitions me into wanting to talk a little bit about the partnership that we have with you. It's something that we identified as part of the process when we were thinking about applying for a grant. What are we looking to accomplish here? We're not just chasing dollars. We want to make a difference. We want to make connections, and to have this opportunity to work with Thunder Valley CDC and bring the Co-Starters platform to your community has been an opportunity for the Sioux Falls ecosystem. If I'm being honest, this is a chance for us to learn from you, but vice versa. We want to figure out how this program can be sustainable in your community. And you're wearing a couple hats here where you're working for the organization itself, but you're also partaking in the program. I'm dying to know, how has the program gone for you so far, and what are the opportunities that you've seen, through this 10 weeks course?
The program has been awesome. Doyle has been a very good help, and it's been a lot of fun. We've built a little support group. So I believe everybody that's in the group now is definitely, like I heard Doyle say it, but I guarantee that they're going to do something, whether it be this year, next year, or when they get their big success. It's hard to tell who's doing what and like looking at how far they've made it or what their progress really is.
Sure.
There may be a lot of people who don't realize that I've made a lot of progress.
Yeah.
I'm really quiet about a lot of business stuff.
Okay.
This is probably one of the first times I'm really opening up and talking about the business at all, right? So I think they're the same in our group. This group specifically. We're all kind of similar, where we're a little shy in our venture. So we're opening up. Doyle really opened us up to actually talk about it, to put it on paper.
Is there a reason why you're shy to talk about it? Is it a proprietary thing? Is it a pride thing? What is it that
maybe pride,
back a little bit?
A fear of failing?
Yeah.
People seeing you fail.
Yeah.
I think a lot of our expectations as a community when it comes to business is you need to be big. You got to be we want to see you as big as Walmart, and if you you must not be doing good if you're. And I think that's generally the perspective in a lot of places about business.
Yeah,
is the people who aren't involved in business don't really too often they don't see how hard it is. So I think people where we're from may be hiding a bit of the struggle.
Sure.
Gaining a little bit of perspective, and when they introduce what they're doing, they want it to be big. And I think I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
There's a few. I think we have a coffee shop, we have a nonprofit focused on mental health.
Nice.
And we also have another brand agency inside of the group that we have. Okay. So and knowing the people, another person's doing oil changes. I want to do a mobile,
like a mom and pop kind of thing?
Automobile servicing. And we need that. If you think about everything that everyone's talking about, we need it.
Yeah.
We can use it.
Absolutely.
Especially a nonprofit focused on mental health. There's not a lot of places, don't get me wrong. I'm not able to say. I'm sure there's plenty of awesome organizations that focus on mental
Sure.
health, but we can use more. And
Absolutely.
I think everybody in our group has a lot of potential, whether it be this year or years down the road.
It's exciting to hear the diversity of industry that's coming around the table to take part in this. That really is exciting. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk to you specifically about your journey in Co-Starters and where you've gone. So we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Amos, the Community Coordinator at Startup Sioux Falls, and I hope you're enjoying the show. Start Dakota is hosted by Startup Sioux Falls. We provide resources to make starting a business easier, including events, programs, mentorship, ecosystem navigation, and an actual space. If you have ever aspired to launch something of your own or run a business currently, we want you to join our community. Start with Startup Sioux Falls at startupsiouxfalls.com/start. We're excited to connect with you. Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. Now let's get back to the show.
Okay, welcome back to Start Dakota. We're here talking with David Clifford of Trap Teepee and also a creative director of Thunder Valley CDC. It is so wonderful to just get to know you and, hear all of the hats that you're wearing and all the passion that you have for the community. I want to dig in a little bit further on your personal journey through Co-Starters. Clearly, this isn't your first rodeo. You've been at this for a while. And there is a beauty in, bringing different industry together through the Co-Starters platform, but also, you're all at different stages of your business. And I can imagine that maybe you've come across as a little bit of a leader in the group because you've got that experience. But talk to me a little bit about what you've gleaned through these 10 weeks in your journey. Like, what were your expectations and have they been fulfilled?
I think definitely one major thing I'd like to highlight about joining Co-Starters is I'm transparent about what I'm doing now. The people in the group know, which is a lot of people you guys know, which is awesome. It's awesome to hear you say Trap TP. It's awesome to, for the platform to be.
It's real, right?
Yeah. Going from a plan to actually having people know. I opened up a shop recently, 2021, which is the craziest time to have opened a physical business in the middle of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And
Speaks to your nickname, by the way.
Right. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and I actually brought a lot of what I learned in that. It was a 1-year lease. I didn't renew the lease because it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I couldn't do a majority of the stuff I want to do from my laptop. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the people in the Co-Starters program know they'd seen me do it. And what was a funnier story is not everybody at the table knew. 2 people out of our group knew, maybe 3.
Okay.
I was really quiet about it. I let the brand speak for itself. So the only people who knew me personally really knew that I took the brand and opened up a physical location. Uh-huh. So fast forward to the Co-Starters, one of the members who's starting a coffee shop, he said, we did the little name tag from the binder.
Yeah.
And I faced it outward, which is a big deal for me because I'm really quiet, real try to be humble about it. Yep. And I turned my name tag around and said Trap TP. He looked at me, he said, You're Trap TP? He's like, I've seen the store. That's you? And I said, yeah, that's me. He's like, oh, that's cool. And he gained a little bit more respect from me in the moment because he was like, okay. He felt good to be in the same program. I felt good to be in the same program as him. That's one thing, major thing it did for me was kind of open it up for at least my peers. Now it's like if they see me do something on the internet, I post something through the company, they're gonna know it's me, and we can talk about it now, which I didn't necessarily open that door to coworkers before. Really fun, and everybody from Thunder Valley has been really supportive. Doyle's been really supportive. The Co-Starters pushed me to be more open about it, to honestly put it out there.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to. It got rid of a lot of my fears. Going through the book. There was one project we did in the book that I liked specifically, and there was a page with just a person. And it was to, make this person look like what your brand looks like.
Yeah.
And we all had a lot of fun with that.
So that kind of dovetails into a question I want to ask you, but who is your customer?
My customer base has grown. I originally did a lot of work with people I know, consulting with people that I know.
Yep.
Recently opened up to having a website and branding and marketing to a lot of different people outside of the community. So I do have a lot similar to here, nonprofits, for-profits based in Native communities. And I'm actually doing a lot of stuff for the weed industry. There's a lot of people in Native country getting into weed here specifically.
Yep.
So I got to do a lot of cool branding of weed companies, which is kind of my niche when it comes to my company, Trap TP.
That's a thing.
I do. Sorry, I'm falling off topic.
I was just going to ask, so like related to cannabis and the weed industry specifically, there's got to be some legalities that you have to work around as you're going through that process. What has that been like? And do you have legal support, that's helping consult you through those difficulties?
Well, the fun part is with design, as long as I'm not stealing anybody's work, using copywritten materials, I'm okay.
Okay.
I don't indulge too much into their business and what they're doing legally.
Sure.
I just make it look cool. I do a lot of their brand narrative, their brand strategy, brand style guide, plan out a lot of their social media content strategies, stuff like that, which is really fun because a good question that you asked, staying clear of like legalities and Facebook, Instagram are really hard to market that industry because anything you post that pertains to marijuana, even medical marijuana, it gets flagged, you get shadow banned on social media platforms. So it's been a challenge, but it's been really fun because I actually was in Santa Cruz on behalf of Thunder Valley, and one of the panels that a gentleman talked about was storytelling, and he does an exercise with he does workshops, he does an exercise, and it's tell me who you are without telling me where you're from, without telling me what your name is, without telling me who your family is.
Oh, wow.
And it really, draws a story out of you, which is what I've had to do with a lot of situations. I've been promoting medical marijuana. It's been really fun.
That is so incredible. Can we talk a little bit about barriers and challenges? What has been the most difficult part of your journey to start this business and watch this business evolve?
I'll say one of the most difficult one of the challenges that I have had is I've never received a grant.
Okay.
I don't think I've put enough effort in, but I'm a go-getter. I don't take handouts. My mom raised me that way. This being from here raised me that way. So I don't take handouts. And I've struggled. Like the reason why I say it's formed since 2016 was because it's been forming for that long. And I worked a lot of different jobs. I'm grateful to be with Thunder Valley, somebody who supports what I'm passionate about and be able to work in something I'm passionate about. But I've yet to receive a grant and apply it to what I'm doing. So it's been a lot of learning experience, challenges as far as in being able to invest. We made it through COVID-19. Pat on the back to ourselves. COVID-19 was a big challenge, and I think I'm at a point where I would like to receive grants. I would like to get out there and get more grants and more funding. I have the planning for it. I have a cool strategic planning space.
I'm going to put a pin in it. So we're going to take another break, and when we come back, I want to hear what's next for you and Trap TP and also what's going on at Thunder Valley CDC. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Business Minute, a recurring segment powered by the SBA, where we'll share business facts and resources available to entrepreneurs throughout the U.S. Small Business Administration. This is Sadie Sweer, Executive Director of SD CEO East Women's Business Center. Do you know Business financing comes from either internal financing, like friends, family, or personal savings, or external financing, like bank loans. Over 3/4, or 77%, of businesses used business earnings as their primary source of funding in 2019, compared to 64% in 2016. Many small businesses utilize capital access resources from the Small Business Administration during the COVID-19 pandemic. By the end of 2020, about 73% of small single location employer firms have received financial assistance from the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. Interested in starting a business or already own a business? There are many free resources available. One of those resources is Grow South Dakota. Grow South Dakota is a statewide nonprofit organization that provides programs and loan products to advance housing, community, and economic development. Grow South Dakota provides business loans through SBA programs, including the Small Business Administration's microloan program. Learn more about Grow South Dakota at www.growsd.org.
Hello and welcome back to Start Dakota. We are in the midst of talking about Trap TP, which I am just like continuously fascinated with. Every time you open your mouth, you tell me something new and exciting. I want to talk about what's next for you. You know, we talked about the journey through Co-Starters. You've been at this since 2016. What's the next step for you? What's the next hurdle in your journey that you need support with?
I'll say the next hurdle or the next step is becoming a household name.
Yeah.
I read a lot about brands and marketing. I do read a few books here and there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the books I'm reading are talking about it takes 10 years to make a household brand. So I think I'm 6 years in, mm-hmm. and I have 4 years left to take it to that level, mm-hmm. where I want people, there's a fly on my microphone. I want people that I admire to be able to reach out to me and say, hey, we need you on this gig. Mm-hmm. And by saying that we need you, we need your brand, we need your mission and your vision to bring a team out here.
Right. Would you consider yourself are you like a social media influencer? Like how out there are you?
Crazy thing is, I'm not. Okay. I have a little bit of a buzz on social media, but I'm an introvert, which is why I might be so timid with my business and putting my business out mm-hmm. there. I'm an ultra introvert. So when it comes to promoting my business, I've yet to promote it on my personal page. Sure. I'm big on the brand speaking for itself. Sure. I look up to a lot of people who are similar and have a similar niche. I'll name drop them.
I was just going to say, who are your...
Marathon Clothing.
Marathon Clothing. Okay.
It's two brothers from South Central LA. Okay. I followed them for years, and their brand is huge now. They have a household name in LA. Mm-hmm. I could go on forever and ever about them.
You could.
But Cookies, another brand you might have seen come up in New York recently. They're from San Francisco. Okay. And I know a lot of people in San Francisco, so I got to watch a lot of that happen. Nice. And I'm a big fan. Definitely got an amazing brand, and they're a household name. I believe the owner is in Forbes now. Oh, wow. He's kind of a big deal. So watching a lot of people like that, I think my next step is to be able to not having to promote it to people. They just know. Yeah. There's a lot of people, when it comes to Cookies, there's a lot of people who don't know. They don't even associate the owner with, a lot of times don't associate the owner, and he's talking about it constantly. Mm-hmm. So I like that. I like that strategy. I don't know if they strategize that, mm-hmm. but I do like the ability of having a personal brand, mm-hmm. as well as pushing my brands in the midst of pushing personal content.
So what do you need? How do we get you there?
I need to... one, stay ready and present my services in a way that if there's some way you could put me in a position maybe you can recommend me to the right project, the right people.
Networking.
I'll be ready, and we'll be ready, and we can rise to the occasion that somebody puts us in a position where we could do something great.
Awesome. So part of the going back to co-starters and, this 10-week process, obviously it's not the end of your journey by any means. It's just another, means to get to that next level. Mentorship is a huge part of what we do as an organization to keep people connected, motivated to get to that next level. Who are your mentors? And can you speak a little bit about the power behind that? And I also assume you are a mentor to others.
Right. That is a good question. I can't say I have a consistent mentor.
Sure.
But there's people who I know. I like to think that when I run into Kevin Costner again, he's going to remember those things that I talked about.
Yeah.
And he actually, if anybody, I would definitely look to him as a mentor, which sounds crazy, right? Because
No, it isn't.
I mean, everybody from here is a big fan.
Yeah.
Like I tried hard not to fan out when I met him, which is probably why we were cool.
Yeah.
But he talked a lot about he brought us up to me a lot. How old are you? He said, when I was 28, I did this, and don't feel bad because I didn't get started till then. So you're just getting started, which reassured me a lot. And he said some things to me that I won't forget. And I think the next time I get up with him, I have some more stuff I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I can't say I have a mentor that I go to all the time
Sure.
or that I can talk to
Sure.
on normal occasions. But there's been a lot of people. Thunder Valley's a mentor, in a broader perspective. Multiple people from Thunder Valley are definitely mentors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mentor myself. Yeah, I definitely try to, because there's some things that I've done working in business that I don't want anybody else to go through, invested money here when I shouldn't have.
It's a heart of a mentor right there. Get somebody through the process quicker, right?
Took some L's, and I love to, shed some light for people, because if I knew what I knew, right, before I went into what I went into, I definitely, I don't have that knowledge. So I definitely want to pass it off to people who are about to do something like I was about to do, which is I didn't fail, but I realized in business, failing is a good thing.
It is.
That's the one hidden gem. What I realized is when I fail, I'm never going to do that again. And I have so much more perspective after that. So failing has been a big mentor for me.
Do you feel like the fear has dissipated as you've had some failures along the way?
Definitely.
That's great.
I think a lot of the fear comes from wanting to be the end result for my community.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like they're just being here for a half a day. I've experienced, just a little taste of what's happening in the community. There's an election coming up, and it seems like the young people are really rising up into some leadership roles, taking real ownership and pride over this community. Can you speak to the youth of this community a little bit, and how you can help, either from your entrepreneur hat or also from the lens of Thunder Valley CDC? How has that ripple effect been in the community for the youth specifically?
I think for the youth, whatever they see, they're willing to implement times 10.
Yeah.
Myself being one, thankful for the things that I seen when I was a kid, seeing people do business, a lot of people pull their car up, sell jewelry, and make $100 in a day, which might not be too much right now, right? But as a kid, you're like, wow, you just took a whole bunch of earrings and you sold them in the parking lot. And the ripple effect that has is I see people younger than me now who are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
We pull up and we make our own mall. We make our own central station where people pull up and sell stuff, sell food. We have all kind of street food. We do not have the economy for it like we do First and the 15th. You'll see people selling stuff everywhere. Yeah. And I think the more that you see bigger companies. Like we have 2 marijuana shops in Pine Ridge that are native owned.
Oh, sure.
And they're not, like, you walk in, it's a nice building. It's a great company. And I think kids seeing that, I didn't get to see that when I was young. I seen Pizza Hut, I seen Subway, I seen Conoco. So there's almost no way to measure, like there's no way to obtain that. As a kid, you can't, I'm never going to obtain being something as big as Conoco.
Yeah.
And which is a lie. If you're listening and you're from an indigenous community, you have every capability of being the biggest company, especially near you. But I didn't think I could be anything big, and I'm not anything big right now, but I definitely know as an adult, I know what I'm capable of. And that's I believe is what the ripple effect is, going from watching street vendors, watching people hustle, load up a truck and take a bunch of stuff to the next town and go to a powwow, sell their stuff, fail even. Sometimes they don't sell, and sometimes we don't eat and there was no gas.
Right.
And the ripple effect that has, I believe there's going to be people who obtain that status that I'm talking about when you're a household brand.
Right.
We talk about Facebook, or we talk about Instagram, or we talk about Conoco, big names. It's like, I believe that a lot of people from our communities, native communities, are fully capable. Given the resources, we'll see what happens. I know a lot of like younger kids who are friends with huge artists. Like they'll be friends with someone like Justin Bieber, and I'm like, that's my bro. I text him, that's my bro. I'm like, so they see it, the outside world can see what we're capable of. It's just going to take for us to see what we're capable of. People actually believe in us. We have a story to tell, not even just given from this community, but we're all similar. In a lot of these indigenous communities, there's people who at 21 can be the next big deal.
You're giving so much hope. I really appreciate the message that you're sending, your leadership, your mentorship. It's everything is just coming up, David, today. I can't wait to see where you go. I can't wait to follow up with you on another conversation. I don't think it's going to be long before you're that household brand. I have a really, really good feeling.
I appreciate that.
Anybody that's listening to this episode that wants to support, get involved, learn more about this beautiful community, I just really highly would encourage someone to either go to the Thunder Valley CDC website or learn more about Trap Teepee. We're going to take one more break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you a few fun questions. So We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jeff Hayward with Startup Sioux Falls. Welcome back to the Co-Starters Challenge, a recurring segment where we'll provide some tips for launching or growing your startup, as well as an action you can take called fieldwork. In an earlier segment, your fieldwork was to identify the most important segment of your business. Who is your customer? Customer discovery is not a once and done process. You should continually seek feedback from your current and future customers because your ideal customer is likely to change over time. So if you've been following along, or even if you're new to the pod, what does your customer look like now, after having developed other parts of your business or since you started? Okay, here's your fieldwork. Revise who your customer is. Maybe it's the same person you originally had in mind, but more than likely, some new or different traits and demographics will have presented themselves. Revise the customer portion of your canvas, and then take a look at the other sections. Your solution, advantage, alternatives, they may have changed as well. All right, good luck with your fieldwork. We'll see you next time.
All right, welcome back to Start Dakota. We are here in Thunder Valley CDC, Porcupine, South Dakota, getting to know David and getting to know more about Trap Teepee. I'm just like, my mind is full of ideas and connections, and I can't wait to just continue to collaborate with you. But let's do a little brain dump. And I just want to do a little lightning round to get to know David a little bit better. So I'm just going to ask you some questions, and we're going to start with an easy one. Coffee or tea?
Oh, that's a good one. Hot tea.
Hot tea. Any particular flavor? A sweetener?
Here's a good one for you. Chayaka.
Oh, tell me more.
Technically mint mixed with lavender, but it's a traditional tea here.
Okay.
Don't mark my words, anybody who's from here. If Chayaka is not mint mixed with lavender, I apologize.
I love it. Hoodie or blazer?
Hoodie.
Yeah. Amen.
I'm a hoodie guy.
Yeah. And where we live, we need those hoodies, right?
Exactly.
What Instagram or LinkedIn, I should say.
I want to say LinkedIn so bad.
Yeah.
Instagram.
Instagram.
I think for my niche, I'm an Instagram person, but I definitely was looking into LinkedIn for certain reasons
Okay.
to be perceived as a professional.
Can I connect with you on LinkedIn? Do you have it? Okay.
Definitely.
Perfect. So remember that, audience. TikTok or nah?
Again, that's another one. I look forward to whoever's competing with TikTok. But I have a lot of friends. Shout out Dogface.
Dogface.
Huge on TikTok.
Okay.
And gave me a lot of belief that it could happen tomorrow. And he's been working really hard, and TikTok was it for him.
Okay.
He's got, I believe, millions of followers.
I still don't understand the secret sauce.
Right. He's friends with Snoop Dogg. He's friends with Be Real.
Yes.
Like Cheech and Chong.
Oh my.
And he's from a community like mine. He's probably one of the most famous natives ever. Has to be.
Wow.
Has to be. So I'm gonna say TikTok.
TikTok. Have you produced your own TikToks?
I've been on TikTok.
You've been on it.
I have Trap TP has a TikTok.
Okay.
But we are our TikTok looks like it's ran by boomers.
Shout out boomers.
Yeah, no offense to boomers.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Oh, chocolate. Milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate. I think I know the answer to this one. Baseball or football?
Football.
Oh, what? But you're wearing the Twins cap.
I know. I have a lot of family from Minneapolis.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I wear Minneapolis cap.
So
but
everything Minnesota then, or not so much?
it's just a family deal. So I'm an Oakland Raiders fan.
Okay.
So I have to be a Las Vegas fan now.
Ah,
They
that's
moved
right.
to Las Vegas.
Can't keep up.
It's just family. My grandmother's from San Francisco.
Nice.
A lot of everybody became Oakland fans.
Okay. Have you been to the ballpark? Have you?
I also been to Las Vegas football games. It's cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Vegas is fun anyway, right?
Right.
Favorite movie or book or TV show?
Oh, that's a good one. There's too many choices.
I know there are, especially in the world of streaming, right?
Right.
Or you can say favorite streaming service.
Even
that's hard to narrow down.
Right. I think one of my favorite movies is. I have so many favorite movies now that I think about it.
Go to inspiration. What's top of mind?
One of my favorite movies is 7 Pounds.
7 Pounds. Remind me.
Will Smith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's like a true story of a gentleman who became a millionaire.
Yeah. Awesome.
He used to go around selling he was just an entrepreneur. He invested in a whole bunch of bone scanners, and his wife didn't believe in him. And he just went through hell and ended up on top.
What's your favorite Kevin Costner movie?
Kevin Costner movie. I gotta say Dances with Wolves.
All right.
And no, don't get me wrong. There's people who don't agree with Dances with Wolves, but it's so embedded into my childhood that
It's long.
I had to bring it up when I met Kevin Costner. I was like, hey, so what was it like? He told me a lot of cool stuff about the area.
Yep. Do you have a favorite Mark Ruffalo movie then?
Let's see, Mark Ruffalo, Hulk, of course. Gotta go with Hulk. And our Lakota Language Education Initiative is actually, I don't know if I'm supposed to drop this, but they're working with our language being involved in
Marvel movies?
Something big.
You heard it here first, folks. Oh,
Right.
that's so exciting.
So hopefully I didn't drop the bomb too
Nice
soon.
tease. All right, last question. Local or otherwise, name an entrepreneur that you admire or a business that you recommend that we support.
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah, he got maybe like 10 companies, but he has Marathon OG, Marathon Clothing, Proud to Pay. He has a few more, but definitely a very inspirational person.
Shameless self-promotion, but what should we be buying off of Trap TP?
We sell streetwear. We have a streetwear gift shop online.
Nice.
Which we're trying to update things every month. So we'll have a short run on a lot of different merch products.
Okay.
So you'll get 1 of 10 If you end up making one of the drops, you'll get 1 of 10 items.
Okay.
And we do streetwear. We do duffel bags, hats, a lot of niche stuff. So we'll be based around street. Our niche is
What
street.
about a middle-aged mama like me? What could I wear? What could I get away with?
You could wear a cool
Make me cool.
t-shirt. We have a cool t-shirt that's in Old English. It says matriarch.
Ooh, sold. I love it.
That might be the one.
David, it has been such a pleasure. I am rooting for you. I'm a fan now for life.
Thank you.
So I hope anybody who's listening has been as inspired as I have just talking with you. Again, this isn't going to be our last conversation. There's a whole ecosystem out there statewide that is here to support you. We're here to support you in whatever you need. So rooting for Trap TP.
Awesome.
I'm mostly rooting for David. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us for Start Dakota. Visit our website at startupsiouxfalls.com to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please tell a friend to rate our show on iTunes. If you are a founder and aspiring entrepreneur, you can get started by visiting our website at startupsiouxfalls.com/start. Start Dakota is made possible by funding from the U.S. Small Business Administration. With this funding, Startup Sioux Falls is piloting an expanded version of its Co-Starters Business Accelerator program and providing additional resources to support underserved founders. Start with Startup Sioux Falls.